Hello and welcome back to another Canadian disc golf production. This week we are covering the Diameter Open. I am Galen Naidu-Harris, joined in the booth today by
Andrew Leyland.
And this is our first time doing some commentary together, so I'm excited.
Yeah, awesome to be here with you, Galen.
Yeah, man. How well do you know this course? I've played this like 1.5 times. Actually, we should thank our sponsors and then talk about the course. So Chainlink, Chickadee, DNA Homes, I just saw this a second ago. Thanks to everybody for supporting the tournament. Wouldn't come together without you. And Royal City, of course. I make a good couple of years there. So I was going to say, how well do you know the course?
Yeah, played it first like blind in this round, being filmed, so I've played it a couple times now.
That's always fun.
Man, I need to get back out here and...
I love the finger guns.
Yeah, so our card, we've got Cam Zanini from Niagara Falls, myself, St. Catharines, Double G, Greg Grootenboer, and yeah,
you're just telling me Chris is a local. I haven't met Chris that I can recall.
That's right, yeah. Chris, awesome guy.
Yeah, pretty stacked card with you and Gigi and Cam, and I'm sure Chris isn't going to get left behind either. So
yeah, we're looking to shred it up.
Nice. Okay, hole 1, pretty simple par 3 if it's similar from the longs to the shorts, which is what I normally play. Just like a bit of a hyzer where you're trying to control your angle and not come screaming in, but sort of nestle on the hill.
Yeah, the main challenge here is just getting up on the hill, not rolling away. And I think maybe like a gentle hyzering putter, kind of what Cam's doing right here, is absolutely what you want to see. Maybe a mid. Yeah,
I was just going to ask about disc selection, because for me this is still like fairway plus even. I mean that's the advantage of having the arm speed, is you can nestle a putter or a mid in there.
Yeah, I went sensei and just way too early there. So, but yeah, it's the right disc. I'll tell you that. But
no, it's the disc. It's the disc who was wrong.
It's the wrong throw.
I'll never get tired of seeing Greg's form. The way he just like sort of whips that disc out. It's unique, and he obviously shreds doing it.
Yeah, definitely unique, and we'll see why it pays off here. But from the hip, he's really good at hitting gaps. Coming from White Spruce. So.
Yeah, and we've got somebody in Chris who I imagine knows the course, so it'll be interesting to see how that comes into play. And like I was saying to you just a few minutes ago, this is relatively new to me, so I'm curious to see how some of these holes on the back nine have come together and what things look like from the longs.
So that was like a halfway there layup.
Oh, I think that's kind of the smart play though, because like this hill is deadly for rollaways, and you can very easily get yourself into trouble if you put it up too close. But it seems like maybe you just left a little shorter than you wanted there, even with the layup.
Yeah, honestly, cameras, I didn't think it was going to bother me, but I think it did. It was getting me a bit with some nerves, but
nice step putt though.
Put it together,
Beauty.
And it's a 3, right? So it's not how it's not a postcard. It's just a scorecard.
No, they don't ask how, they just ask how many, and the answer is 3. And that's an acceptable score for sure.
Chris trying to come back for his par.
I was trying to figure out who that was that went down the hill as Chris. That's too bad.
We got Gigi just off the side here.
And this is his drive, I believe?
Yep.
Okay, punches out, puts it under.
Yeah, it looked like that was just a layup.
Yep. Yeah, again, with that hill, you've got a lot of rollaway risks. You don't want to push it too hard. And we've got our card, just collecting our pars, moving on.
Cam getting a 2.
Oh, he did take a 2.
Yeah, nice, like 15-footer there.
Not bad at all.
But yeah, the rest of us going to clean up. Chris, interesting story. He just had a pair of twins. So
oh, wow.
Congrats, Chris, if you're watching.
How close was this pre or post tournament that he had the kids?
It was about 8 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
But he's and I've got almost a 2-year-old son, so
nice.
Newly minted parent. But we're kind of coming off. They used to be able to disc golf a lot to
trying to find time where you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've got a buddy of mine. We were talking about playing some disc golf this weekend, and he's like, "Yeah, I should be able to, as long as my wife's not in labor yet." And I was like, "Are you out of your mind? Like, where are your priorities, buddy?" And he's like, "No, she's not due for a couple of weeks, but you never know."
But just letting you know, it could be a thing.
Yeah. And so this one seems like it plays a little different to what I'm used to from the shorts, where instead of looking straight at it and firing up the hill, you've got almost like a bit of a steep hyzer in.
Yeah, I'm
guessing it plays further than 334, which is what we're seeing here, given it's uphill.
A little uphill.
Yeah.
Cam throwing a mid. I'm, like I said, pretty new to this course, and I was like, let's just go up and over.
Yeah, I think that's, if you have that, that's a great play. Especially with how many trees there are in here, it's easy to get tangled up and take a skip if you put it low. Put it up high, and that can happen. That's awesome.
All right.
Yeah, that'll do.
Apparently, that's the local route if you have it, if you have the power to go up and over. But
yep.
There is a pretty decent sized gap that you'll see GG aiming for here. The only thing, far, like if you miss short and long, it can get a little squirrely, especially short left.
Yep. Oh, wow.
But
skips in great.
Another one right up into the circle.
Well, yeah, if you just look at where things are, I mean, if you come up a little short and skip through the gap, you can get a little dicey. If you come up short and have a tougher look coming back through some of that bush, you take it long.
Yeah. Awkward uphill putts coming in. Yeah.
100%. So I like the high line.
I think just a little wide and deeper.
Yeah, I think that'll still be a look, but when we're talking about all these trees in here, you never know what's going to be in between you and the basket, even if you're only, this looks like maybe he's 35, 40 away at the most.
Mm-hmm. But nice angle change from the longs.
Oh yeah,
as Chris just doinks that one.
No, gives it a nice solid bid. And speaking of parents and young kids, I see some in the background there.
Yeah, catching some action.
Yeah,
good to see.
Yeah, you guys got a gallery of 2 at least, plus all the cameramen following you around and whatnot.
It's pretty early, I think, at this point. Shotgun 2 rounds today, 1 round tomorrow, in terms of like the weekend.
Sure. And so I was just gonna ask about the format. So 2 rounds first day, 1 round the second day. So I'm guessing you're starting pretty early in the morning still. Yeah,
Cam and I left pretty early. It was about an hour and a half drive-ish, Niagara bound ways, and I think we were there about 8. So it's a full day.
Yeah, definitely. Morning coffee still kind of seeping its way into your brain.
Exactly.
Okay, and for hole 3, it looks like they're giving you an extra shot. That's nice of them. Par 4, 512 feet. I think the only actual out of bounds is the road, but certainly you don't want to come up short and inside. I've made that mistake a few times. It's one of those ones where you almost wish you could call it OB and take the disc where it crossed at the edge of the woods, but no such luck. If you get in there, you're just going to have to fight your way out.
Yeah, and I think, playing right now in terms of like the conditions, it's pretty good. Like it's warming up, and I think we had a little bit of a tail, maybe right to left, and so that's going to help us, push a hyzer righty backhand.
Well, yeah, tail right to left would be perfect win for this. You just put a little hyzer on it and let it ride as far as it can.
So Cam's disc is pretty close to mine in terms of like just you want to push down here, but not too far into the long stuff. Give yourself as good of an angle if you're not going to go for it in one shot, which is there.
Yeah.
For those that are willing.
Yeah. You guys in the MPO field, I mean, 512, the bit of downhill and the wind on your side, I guess that's possibly accessible, but I think this is probably the smarter play if you look at where that taller stuff is, towards sort of, I guess, the middle left of the screen you're seeing now. But I figure that if you're trying to push the whole way, that's right where you'd be hyzering through. So you get 4 shots, may as well use them.
Yeah, pretty generous 4, I think, for par.
Yeah.
For MPO.
Definitely.
But like this area, GG and Chris are in a great spot. Maybe a little bit longer of an upshot, tighter angle, as you can see here. It's just tucked in about middle of the screen left up in there. So.
Yeah, but I figure anywhere down here, you're giving yourself a very reasonable chance at a birdie. You're not firing your upshots too hard.
And even at that, I think that's in the circle there. Like
I would think so. Yeah,
a healthy circle putt.
Yep. Chris hyzering in nicely, skips almost off the pin.
Yeah, that might have got it. But that's like the line you want to take in. So Cam just a bit in it, but he's still open.
So we were talking about, you take it a little bit on the longer side, you got that stuff to contend with, but you make short work of it.
Nicely up there. I thought I pulled this a bit, and
looks like it might have filtered through. I guess we'll see in a second.
Yeah, there's a line.
Yeah,
I don't think it's too bad there.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's going to be awkward, but not awful. Greg, a little right side, but sticks to the chains.
Lovely catch.
Oh yeah, so kind of awkward, but makeable. I didn't want to say that before you putted and jinx
Right.
you. I was like, let me wait until he drains this.
Yeah, it had a little tree like right where you want to pop your
Yeah.
arm, and it's kind of awkward.
I always like, if I have some time, practicing that kind of putt. Oh, Cam. Oh, that's no fun.
Yeah, just missing a shorty early.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, even that one. But
Yeah, you never like that early on.
you want to see your competitors make those and move on and battle it out.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I was going to say, I like the idea of if I have some extra time before a tournament and I'm just sort of sitting around doing nothing, I'll try and like manufacture super weird putts like that. So every once in a while, when that comes up, at least I've got a little bit of practice, you know, sort of straddle around a tree one way or the other. But you can never practice those enough.
It's such a key thing to practice those in warm-up, especially like this course has a practice basket, or had a practice basket in a field, kind of open, right?
Yeah.
Same with White Spruce. A couple weekends ago we played. You know, you want to still warm those shots up, just because you know you're going to be up against a tree or a bush or something.
100%, and you know, you're not, you know, if you know White Spruce or if you know Eastview here, you're not. You know, you're not making putts in an open field very often. There's a bunch of schnarb around and trees. Now this one is interesting. I like this at, that's an unfortunate kick for Greg.
Yeah.
204, but like 204 very technical feet here to deal with.
Yeah, on paper this is like, you know, it's short, but there's a flex line.
I was going to say, I feel like the natural line is the forehand flex if you have it. And I feel like in your division, most people have a serviceable forehand at 200 feet.
Yeah.
And I mean, like there is a bit of a turnover line there. You can even do like a turnover flex with an overstable disc, but I think like a backhand turnover, but
yeah.
I think the forehand is much more natural.
Yeah, when looking at this hole,
Nice.
Cam just a bit early, so you just want to get around that, and it's right there. Looking at there's a left side to the gap, but it really, you know, from my perspective, I don't want to turn away from that small thing, and whereas I could throw a sidearm to the bigger one, and just something stable and just do a quick little glow move.
Yep. Always trying to look for where the most air is, and you know, thread the shot through there instead of making yourself work for a smaller gap.
So just awesome work on Greg getting out of the woods there. Like that was not.
No, that's no routine shot right there.
Yeah, that was not your average approach. So he'll give himself a look for par. Chris just misses his birdie putt, and we've got Cam going.
Gives it a healthy bid, but those leaves just tickled the disc enough to kick it down. Come up in a pretty nice spot here. Bit of an awkward stance, it seems like, with that bush though.
Yeah, I'm getting into it a bit, left leg. So I don't know, like it's kind of getting some weird footing there, but I don't know if that kind of influenced that, but just not quite on it.
Yeah.
Being elevated too.
Well, no, I'm talking about things that you can sort of try to practice a little bit. Like even when you're trying weird things, I don't think you're often just standing on a bush while you're practice putting. Like it's just an awkward position to be in, and there's only so much you can do.
And Gigi's pretty pumped about that par.
As he should be.
Big time.
Man, to fight out from where he was and come back for the par is huge. Tapping in.
I was right back where I was.
Okay, so we've got hole 5, a couple options here. There is an up to the big up hyzer to the left, and then there's a straight shot, which is tighter, but kind of the designated route, I think.
Yeah, I think they've tweaked this a little bit since I played it last. Maybe not. I found that for me with my game, what you're lining up here, the high forehand made the most sense. Wouldn't quite go super overstable, but sort of like stable to overstable, and just put it up nice and high and let the disc do the work. And looks like you came up a pretty good spot there, circle's edge or so.
Yeah, just outside.
I just, for me, I'm like we were just saying, I'm always going to look where there's the most free space to work with, and that gap is definitely there. Oh my god, what a drive!
We're just putting work on a buzz. Like,
and if that's your game, that's great. But for me, I forehand more, and if I see air for a forehand, I'm taking it. But then you see a guy like Greg makes you want to throw a straight backhand.
It's a pretty thing, that's for sure.
Chris lining up the same shot, I think. Just doesn't quite get a hold of it the same way.
Getting early on
it. Yeah, I'm surprised, especially knowing that Cam's got a really solid forehand. I thought I might see him go to that as well. Off of it. There we go.
Very helpful kiss.
Yeah, right that was nice.
Yeah, Cam. So coming in blind, and then Cam has played here. Not like he told me he got some practice and rounds in. And so when I see him with a strong forehand in his bag, he's not throwing it, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whether or not my choice is the right thing, but.
Well, no, I know what you mean, because I will, have to fight that urge when I'm playing with somebody whose game I know well and whose game I think is similar to mine, and I see them not doing what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, what am I missing? What am I doing wrong? Especially if they know the course better than I do. This one looks a little awkward, too. There's not really many clean putts for you yet. This one, you've got that tree just on the right. Oh, but making it look easy.
Yeah, just had to worry about the tree, just turn it a little bit.
Yeah, it's the second nice step that you've hit today, though, so.
Yeah, I'm pumped about the putting.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and just a really awkward spot for Chris. And just sails it a little right, catches a few chains, but not enough.
Yeah, looked like he wanted that one. Looked like a decent line to it, too.
Yeah, those ones hurt. When you beat all the trees and actually get towards the basket, but then the disc doesn't go in. Greg, awkward spot just off the bottom band. Or off the bottom of the cage, I should say. It's funny, it seems like a pretty decent mix of like really, really solid putting and then putts that you guys would definitely want back so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think anybody's like super happy with, we're a couple under, I think, at this point here. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think there's definitely some strokes being left out. I think, in terms of when you're coming out trying to gauge how you should be playing a course and how you want to rate yourself, like we definitely want to be pacing it a little bit quicker than that, I think.
Yeah, sure.
2 through 5, in this kind of course. Another opportunity here, sub 300.
Well, yeah, and I mean, there's that low tree at the end, but other than that, I mean, there's not really a whole lot of trouble you can get into. Mm-hmm. There is the high line too that takes that out of play. So.
And there's a Mando now in this tree that's just in front of the short pad.
Oh, okay. So you got to go Mando left of that.
Mando left. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then that takes that higher hyzer, the wide one out, but.
Yeah. You just got to miss that one.
I was gonna say that you have to miss just that, and then the lowest branch is right past that, and if you do that, you're putting for your birdie, at least. Even from where you are, you might have a look at it. It just sort of depends how the disc broke. Cam looks really unhappy, but then his disc actually slides up decently well.
I don't think the Mando really comes into play much. You can't really throw a hyzer. I mean, good on you if you can, but
yeah. Well, this is the line I'd prefer, is just sort of like a low and maybe even like a skippy stable to overstable mid.
Yeah.
But I have seen guys from back here throw around that pine on the right hand side.
Okay.
Like I don't know how long that Mando's been there, but just take it high and wide and sort of crash into the tree that the basket is under. And I don't know if he missed there. Depends how much he got, I guess.
Yeah, I think he stopped short.
Yeah, stopped short.
Okay. But yeah, there's that dark gap we're looking for. So yeah, my play there was a tactic, and in round 2, change the disc. Things are different.
Wow.
Oh,
what a great make there from Chris.
Chris makes it.
Yeah, that's a huge throw in. I'm at a loss for words because I wasn't expecting that to go in.
How sick of a par is that?
That is a super sick. We've had some sick pars so far.
Yeah, that's better than mine on more.
100%. So tactic is like, is a tactic a razor claw? Is that the same disc?
That is a version of a tactic. Yeah.
Yeah, great bid there from you too. That would have been another highlight reel putt.
Yes, like
so razor claw is like the signature Eagle McMahon version of a tactic.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just your overstable approach.
Yeah, that's I mean exactly what I'd be thinking here. I think for me, I'd probably be throwing something like a gator. For my personal bag, but same idea. Throw it 240 straight, skip a little left, and leave yourself a putt.
And Greg getting into a good spot just by going straight too. I think that's a nice play on that hole too. You don't have to go left into it. You can kind of just push forward.
That's something that as I'm trying to get better, that I still have to remind myself of sometimes, is I'm always trying to draw lines to be right under the basket, and sometimes when it's not there, I find myself pushing for it instead of doing something like just throwing a straight shot and leaving myself 20 feet.
20 feet's great.
20 feet's awesome.
Yeah. Honestly, if I could do like 25 feet every time, that'd be great.
Oh, 100%.
Obviously, closer is better, and in is always the best.
Of course. But as putting distances go, 25 ain't bad. And now a 278 foot, kind of tricky, but not insane wooded shot. I think this is a pretty steep left to right dogleg once you get around that first tree, though, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty defined fairway left to right. Pretty curves off into the middle of the screen there.
So I guess I'm thinking sort of a high and continually turning mid, like I think Greg is thinking, or a putter, or a really overstable. Oh my God!
You know what he calls this? He calls this his backhand forehand. I'm just gonna throw one of those forehand backhands, or
yeah. So that's his backhand that is like a forehand.
Exactly.
I love it. Wait, I was gonna say the other play is like a
not quite
that. Not executed into that tree, but I know exactly what you were thinking of. Yeah. Like I'm guessing I know what you're thinking anyway. Like I'm looking at this for like a low, skippy, like overstable fairway.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just that was my first time playing this hole, so I had the tee, so
yeah,
wasn't quite on point with the aiming point, but yeah, something like Crystal's show here, and yeah, just stable fairway. Even I think he's throwing a 12 speed.
Yep.
But a little wide gets.
Seems to get away with it though. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Nice.
Can get you down there.
That's the local line, I guess. Is just fire it through all the trees and find a way. Just another tree.
Did not need that last kick.
No. Yeah, and Cam came up a little shorter even than I thought.
Yeah.
Thought he got a little more power on that, but
getting on his Sonic a little too heavy there.
Yeah, a little too much power, maybe a little too much ante on that, but
what do you
still
think?
Should be in a good spot.
Massive par save?
Oh, of course. We've been playing so far with these long putts.
Nah, not this time.
You had me rooting for it, because he made 2 of those big steppers, so. And Chris for the big birdie look. Just a little low.
So Cam coming back for par.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's a sick jersey he's got on there.
Yeah, he's looking
birdie,
good with his birdie shirts. Yeah.
Yeah, that man's always looking good. He's got a good style. Always looks comfortable, relaxed, fashionable. And double G sinks putt.
Thanks, man.
Is that for his 2?
That's for the 2.
Nice. He's on a bit of a wicked pace. I know it didn't quite start the way everybody wanted, but he seems to be really getting on one.
I'm really curious to know how many backhand birdies
one
ever here.
Maybe that's the only one.
Just such a to have that flexibility, and he's just backhand for his tee shots mostly. Rarely we'll see a forehand out of double G. So it's a testament to his shaping.
Yeah, well, he can shape a backhand so well. Like he doesn't really need to throw a forehand. I've only played with him, I want to say like twice, maybe. But in the times that I have, I've never seen him throw a forehand. So maybe that's a testament to how often he throws them.
This hole 8, par 4, coming in at the second hardest hole.
Yeah, so this is, I was just hearing that they had combined holes 8 and 9. So this used to play as 2 separate holes, and I'm curious how this is going to work through, because with where I'm thinking of 9 basket being, this is not an easy up and down to get there. Looks like a pretty good landing zone, I'm thinking, for Greg there.
Yeah, there's kind of a wall of trees you can see down the left line there, and then you want to move left to right. And get through that, so then you can open up the next shot.
Ooh, early. That's unfortunate for Cam.
Yeah, not the bouncy one either.
No. Did you see anybody taking that right-hand gap there, that narrower one? It's tough to see. I think it might be a little tighter than it appears on camera, but
I don't think I saw anyone go there.
Yeah, it feels more natural to take that bigger gap on the left for sure.
Yeah. That's great.
I was going to say, not knowing entirely how this hole plays, that those 2 shots, his and Craig's, look just where you want to be.
Yeah.
Just got over on that one a little bit, eh?
Yeah. So when you get back in this spot, it starts getting tight because you want to land up there.
Well,
so it opens up.
When you're closer to those trees, you don't have to worry about where they are so much. You can sort of angle your body around them, but from back here, you don't have quite as much latitude.
That was a nice kick for a really bad shot. Yeah, that was the gap.
Just got away. Yeah. Well, no, that's the gap. It looks like from where you were. It just, like you were saying, when you're a little further back, you don't have as much to work with. Cam with the starts of a good pitch out, but just kicks right at the end, and I think he stayed near the fairway, but not on it.
I figured
that looked pretty good.
why not 3 sidearms with the same disc in a row?
Why not? But looked like that came up well. Probably circle 2.
Yeah, circle 2.
Yeah, that's great to have a look at circle 2 from where you were after 2. Chris with a really nice forehand.
Yeah.
Little sort of unfriendly ground play, but still scoots up a little bit.
Yeah, I think that was helpful. I got close, pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Cam just trying to avoid these.
Still scrambling.
Yeah, still scrambling and trying to avoid the tree branches right in front of him.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. He pointed. We were talking about that.
Yeah, and I mean, you see a group of pros like yourselves that are certainly not like struggling, but not having the ability to execute perfectly. It really shows you how tough a hole like this is. 'Cause I would not want to be playing it. I'll tell you that right now. Greg with a really nice upshot.
Armed with his backhand,
Yeah.
play the straight shot. Ends up in I think he's just inside circle.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Cam giving it an honest of a bit as you can from back there with a low ceiling and puts it under for. I guess it'll probably be a tap in for a bogey, unfortunately. And this looks pretty obstructed too. Like I can't tell with the. Oh no, okay. Definitely obstructed, but I was wondering if that tree might make it go out to the left even.
Yeah, I think I was just on the edge of that, of a line there.
But still nowhere you're super happy about.
Yeah, and I kind of blasted it by.
Yeah, and I think this is so. Chris is putting for his birdie here, correct?
That's right. I think we got
and
one,
connects.
Yeah.
Wow, very nice. And again, just sort of simple golf. A good drive, a good approach, and a good putt.
Yeah, really well done.
Yeah.
Be our first plastic playback too.
Yeah, I love it.
This one you could tell you got the pop on the putter, and it's right where you want to hit it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, and it's so interesting how there's so many different ways to be good at this game. We love, and I always find myself intrigued by the people that, and I don't want to judge Chris too much because I don't know much about his game except for the few holes that we've seen, but it seems like he's just very consistent and can do just about everything pretty well. And I find that, the higher up that I start to watch or play disc golf, if we're talking about like touring pros in the States, it's a little bit different, but like for me, if I'm sort of playing with AM1 guys a lot and watching MPO guys, like some of them will have like a crazy forehand bomb, some of them will have ridiculous putting, some just massive backhand distance, and then some are just better than you at most things. Like just they're good at upshots, they're good at backhands, they're good at forehands, they're good at putting.
As GG walks off in the wrong direction.
Yeah,
you're totally right. Like there's definitely different calibers out there, and those people on the road and other locals across Canada, US, everywhere in the world that are just like waiting to get called out. That are just crushing their own local course. But
100%.
Chris, I think he's been playing for a while. He was saying so.
Yeah, and he's playing well, especially we're talking about being on coverage here, and I'm guessing for him probably for the first time, and not seeing any sign of nerves and some solid play.
He's just super pumped to be out for the first time, I think, playing golf in a while.
Yeah, I guess that's right. You're saying he's got the new kids, so this has got to be just nice to be out of the house.
Yeah. Okay, so this one there's some OB on the left.
Oh, there is. Okay. Is it like sort of the long stuff, or
on our right? There on our thrower's left.
Yeah.
Yeah, long stuff. But it's pretty straightforward. 231. Just a little left to right shot.
Forehand or a backhand turnover for Greg.
That's right. I think I like to kind of just lean on something more stable.
Yep.
Hit that.
Yep, makes perfect sense.
The one mistake though is I think Cam and myself were a little short, not quite getting all of it. I don't think the wind's doing anything right now, but.
Makes sense to, if you're going to come up somewhere to come up a little short, though, because if I'm at least reading the green right, it looks like it tightens a little bit behind the basket, and you get a little more space ahead of it, so.
That's right.
You don't want to push it too hard. Ooh, and Cam with a nice jumper.
Yeah, sneaks it in. This one got him a long putt. I don't know if he held on to it, but he definitely moved that flag, so nice putt, Cam.
Nice. Chris puts another one in there.
Finding that good release again. GG problems with the tree branch, just getting the tickling his head or something there.
Yeah, at 5'7", 5'8", that is not a problem I would be having standing in that spot, but That is a tall and lanky man, and that looked like it was sort of right where it's annoying him a little bit.
Well, the two closest
Yeah.
shots miss and get big putted.
Yeah, I guess you two got long putted. Yeah. A pretty decent spread through 9. You know, you've got everybody, I think, feeling like decent about how things have gone, but looking for probably a little bit more on the back, except for Greg, who's on another planet right now. 5 down through 9.
Yeah, Greg's cruising. I kind of, let go of the gas, and Cam is needing to hit it as well.
And hey, Chris
right
under par after 9 on his, what I'm assuming is his first round of coverage. That's very solid.
The inaugural coverage of Chris.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the front 9 of our first round of the Diameter Open. So thanks for joining us, everyone, and I guess we'll be moving our way on to the back.
Yeah, we got some tighter holes, some long par 4s, interesting stuff. Come back and check it out, and let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors here.
Yeah, thanks again to Chainlink, Chickadee, DNA, and Royal City. You guys are awesome for supporting Ontario Disc Golf.
Yeah,
Thanks everybody. We'll see you on the next one.
See you then.